They said, where did Hatham come from? We want to know more about Hatham. So that's what they gave you. They gave you what everyone asked for. He's not there to tie in the others. He has his own story. His own reasons for what he did to become what he became.
Connor was pointless. Like, in my eyes. Because
he was just revenge.
Connor was just simply revenge. That was it. It was a way to let us see what they're like in America. And even then, most of the characters that you kill with Connor aren't accurate to history. They did say Assassin's Creed 3 was the hardest game to make because
no one actually died of importance.
Yeah, no one died in America. They all died elsewhere or in other times.
Lovely old. I thought I had to bat the shit out of him.
No, I think you were following.
Then I bat the shit out of him when he gets to the board. Yes, that's right.
No, so it's just like, at which point he was pointless. So then he is Hatham, his dad. Somewhat kind of interesting. Right, where did these guys come from? What made them like this? How is Hatham, who's clearly acting like an assassin, like with his skills and that, a Templar? And you find out their background story through Edward. So Edward is now the background story for Hatham and Connor, technically. And at which point, if you want to find out you leave Black Flag with, well, where's Hatham? They didn't give us where Hatham came from. They just showed us Edward's beginning. Yeah, which, like I say, as I'm about to say, with Assassin's Creed 4, it's like, well, he is Edward Kenway. It's like, okay, so he's obviously related to Hatham, but how is he related? And at the end of the game, it shows you, this is my son. Alright, cool, so how is he like an assassin but a Templar again? Like, how is he upon this war? If you're an assassin, read the book. It tells you.
Or play rogue. It tells you. Because there's a point I'm going to make at the end of this game, and everyone's going to look at me or think of me as an absolute bellend, and I'm entirely wrong. But if you play rogue, the point I'm going to make at the end of this game is entirely valid and correct by what they tell you in rogue.
Yes, this is telling an argument, that's why it's stopping now. Like I say,
okay. You're gonna let me... Thank you.
Give me the plans. No! I will not! Stop! Stop! Where are the plans? Past the guards. In
yes,
my house.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is the last one.
And the machine.
It was to force you to buy the books or buy rogue when that came out, which told you what the books told you. It's giving you two ends of the story and it wants you to fill in the middle.
He is a character, if you find him interesting, you'll find out more through the book. Simple as. That was all it was.
But Edward himself had a story. A very good story.
No, like I said, this is telling an argument, so it's going to stop now. We'll let the guards.
He didn't die on a full knife. It's exactly why I had the crossbow before I'd done this mission.
Still warm.
Yours is. Cold tea.
Oh, mine's warm. It's been sitting in the sun for a bit.
Yeah, I got cold tea. Cold coffee I can drink. Cold tea, tastes like shit. But
Were
it's
you
tea.
distracted?
It's tea. You can't waste tea.
That's what I'm saying, Edward. Well, as was just...
No, Edward wasn't half done. Edward was done fully. Connor was done to an extent, which you could say was fully for what he needed to be his purposes.
They all were fully done for the purpose they were.
The only one that wasn't fully done was Hatham, which is why you buy the books or play rogue to understand the story behind Hatham.
Yes, the subject here is going to get changed, but final thing on the matter is just... You could say a character's half done, if you wanted to.
He's not.
Oh, well, just let me finish. You could say a character's half done all you want. If you want to find out the full story, you're going to have to go and buy every form of media they give you. The books, the games, the films. You have to go and buy all of them if you want to understand all the characters fully.
Which books are actually very close to the games.
Yeah, but they go and progress further and stuff and like before. However, for the meanings, what they are required to do, they are fully developed characters for what they are needed for in the games. Mm-hmm. Edward, yes, as a character as a whole character, he's half developed because half of his character is in the book.
Not Edwards, isn't?
Yeah.
Not Edwards. Edward is a full character that became everything. The rest of his life you don't find out because
that's what I'm saying by half. That's what I'm saying by half developed. That's what I'm saying.
He's fully developed. They just don't tell you it all yet.
Yeah,
it's like saying that.
Let me finish. Otherwise, this is going to bring the subject back up.
Yeah, but it's like saying Ezio's half developed because you didn't know anything until you had the other games. It's the same thing.
Either way. Still, like I say, the subject's going to come right back up. But yeah, so like the purpose of the full character is only half done because the other half is in the books. However, what he needed to do and what he needed to show us, he was fully developed. He showed us the life of a pirate. He showed us as like how the assassins are from another point of view. What the war is like for an outside person. He showed us the sage. He showed us all these things that he needed to. So at which point, for the game's perspective and what we need to understand if we're just playing the games and we don't want to buy anything else, he's a fully developed character.
That comment you just made about Ubisoft, what they've done in the past, they realised that they fucked this up. That's exactly why there's no multiplayer in Syndicate. Why they've brought the story writer that made this game, they've brought him back to create Syndicate. They've realised how much they've fucked up and gone, right, we need to fix this. They have realised they've made subpar games, but the games are still brilliant games and the characters are still brilliant.
I mean, they're always they're always trying to improve on the games with the story and stuff. Ubisoft, like you said, first of all, they invited multiplayer. It wasn't the best. They've melted out the other titles, and I think they wouldn't have whatever sources of media would Edward be as if they wouldn't have the other sources of media would ever be. Well, yeah, like I just said before. Like I'm gonna say this in a nice calm manner because I don't want an argument breaking out over this. I want it to be calm. I don't want it to be aggressive. So we're gonna speak like civilized people. And
we are being calm and not aggressive.
I will admit our voices were raising a little bit before. But no,
my voice is always raised.
For what he needed to do in the games, yes, he was a character. Like I said before, he introduced us to all this other stuff new to Assassin's Creed series that we never met before. But as for Ubisoft, they introduced multiplayer in this game. Okay, it can seem like a fair thing going assassinate targets with your friends and stuff, but it was kind of all messed up and stuff. And I'll get to that comment in a moment, what you just said. But, so at which point they tried to improve it in Revelations. Didn't get any better. I know it's going to point out spoilers, but still. And yes, Mega, like I said, let me get to that in a moment. Like I say, so it tried to reveal stuff. Yeah, again, they kept trying to prove it with Assassin's Creed 3. Got a little better, but the downside to the multiplayer was if you just played it to like level 20, you had all the abilities. If you were level 1, you had nothing. There was no way, apart from like, I think maybe later dates they let you buy like a level up type thing, maybe? I think. So the multiplayer was flawed. Simple as.
By a long shot.
So they tried to change it for Black Flag with community events and setting your fleet out with multiplayer. Realised that wasn't the best idea. Like the community events seemed like a cool idea, like what the best way to go about multiplayer.
There wasn't a multiplayer. Community event wasn't a multiplayer.
It was like your friends had to do or something. It was kind of multiplayer.
It wasn't. It was you would find a treasure on there that was a community event. That treasure location would then be told to everyone on your friends list that had the game. So it was like a way of saying, oh, by the way, this is here.
Yeah, it was kind of.
It's not really a multiplayer. It's
not
just a
a
community.
multiplayer that we know. Not we never know, but it was kind of multiplayer. But no, so they tried to do that, and then they did the whole fleets online thing. Yet again, a little flawed.
Fucked up.
And so, yet again, they tried to.
Fleets aren't multiplayer either.
You need multiplayer to do them.
No. You just need internet.
Yeah, that's what I mean by multiplayer. You need internet.
But it's not multiplayer just because you need internet.
But you still get what I mean. Shut up. Just let me finish.
It's not online.
Let me finish. Just let me finish. But no. So at which point, yet again, they flawed. And at which point they started to realise Assassin's Creed is quite a hard game to put multiplayer into if you want to try and do it right. And no, honestly, I can't honestly think of a way to make it Assassin's Creed multiplayer right. But anyway, so with the whole failure of what was kind of with Black Flag, they then moved on to Rogue, which
I'll stop you there.
Which wait, let me finish. Seriously,
Okay,
no, seriously, let me finish. If I remember correctly, Rogue had no multiplayer whatsoever. Then they introduced you. You have the rules about no spoilers, babe. And if Reaver was listening, he would be calling you a hypocrite. No, because I'm not giving spoilers. I'm just saying about the multiplayer in games.
Or lack of.
Yeah. So at which point, hey, random person. But no. So at which point,
You entered at a good time.
yeah, trust me, you did. So at which point, if I remember, did Rogue have multiplayer whatsoever?
No.
Even community events or anything?
Nope. Nothing. There was no online aspect. But Black Flag didn't have a multiplayer. Okay, that's really, really wrong. It had an online aspect, but no multiplayer. Carry on.
You still understand what I
It's
mean?
just been bugging me. There's no multiplayer. It's not two people playing at once. That's multiplayer.
I know what you mean, but people still understand you need the internet either way.
Yeah, it's an online aspect.
Even then, they tried
Go back to my game
they
now.
still tried to evolve the multiplayer.
Yes, Scared Lotus is the fiance.
Yes, that's my other half.
Sacred Lotus, not Scared Lotus.
Yeah, Sacred Lotus.
Apologies.
So at which point, as they went to Unity, and now this was a brilliant idea. Co-op. Get rid of multiplayer. You're not fighting against other players. You're just playing the game together. Yet again, they still messed it up. Didn't make it a full game thing. It was only certain missions. In my eyes, they should give you co-op for a full game.
Yep. Four
But
people
even then-
play the entire story all together would have been amazing.
That would have been fantastic.
But they fucked it up.
They still messed it up by limiting the missions you could do it on. And even then, it didn't fully work. And they had 5 years to develop the game. And they still screwed the game up with bugs. The co-op...
Bugs? They were more than bugs, my friend. They
Yeah.
were lethal kind of viruses.
But no. So
People lost their faces, for fuck's sake. They kissed and ragdolled. That is not a bug.
anyway. So at which point, they still messed with like that type of stuff. At which point, for Syndicate, the new game about to come out, they've realised all this. And like, you know what? We'll go back to our roots. No online aspects, no multiplayer, no nothing. Simply single player. That's the game. And at which point, oh god. Oh god.
Sorry, Ezio, I folded him in half. His foot's around his head.
Yeah. So at which point,
I jumped once too many times.
they want to try and bring Syndicate back on a high note. So the guy that quit, the story writer for 2 and Brotherhood, they got him back. God knows how. Because he quit.
Here's a nice chunk of money. Okay.
So they got him back to write the story for Syndicate. Which
He
is
didn't
gonna-
quit, he went to a different company. Got a better offer from someone else. It wasn't like an argument and they quit, it was just he got a better offer somewhere else.
But yeah, so they're trying to do Syndicate right. Let's see, what else? There was some other things I want to bring out. The Sage could have been introduced in Unity. Well, yes, he could have, but that's the whole point of Unity. Like, from the story, yes, Black Flag was a little buggy, but trust me, when we say buggy, if you're going to compare any game bugs to what Unity bugs were, just don't even bother.
Have you played Unity?
Sorry,
That's a question.
So, here's a better question. Have you played Unity without updates?
Just search Unity Day 1 bugs. Or how about Unity fixes of bugs?
Trust me, Unity,
The bugs in Black Flag was
Megan, like say, Megan's making a good point.
it was like a flying ship.
The moving. Okay, whatever. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe a bug for something. But no, like I say, Unity was so buggy, it was on belief. But no, what was it?
There's a load of guards.
But
Simon.
we know this one works.
Bye, guys.
But yeah, the Sage. That was what I was going to. The whole point of the Sage, because if I don't fully know, but from what I read a little bit of, there is a Sage in Unity, if I'm correct. Someone please correct me if who has actually played Unity. Is there a Sage or isn't there? And what I do believe is what I read up. It could be completely false because I've not played Unity. I did. It was barely playable. Thanks,
Barely
mate.
playable. Unity without updates was incompletable.
So at which point, epically messed up.
I pressed the wrong button.
I'm going back up and reading your past comments, mate. That's what I'm doing now. But no, like I say, if I remember correctly, there was a Sage in Unity. Now,
I
thanks.
don't know. I haven't played it.
Yeah,
But from what we understand,
from
there's a
what
Sage.
I've read up and stuff. Now, from one of the other games, Black Flag, I know it's spoiler territory and stuff. I apologise. It's just to get this out of the way. Yeah, I don't want to see it. Right. The whole point of the Sage in Unity was because of what happened in Black Flag. Was because you find out about the Sages there. And I know it's spoilers, so mute for about a minute or so. There was a Sage in Black Flag, so that Sage was then reborn, and he was inside Abstergo. At which point Abstergo's caught him. Abstergo now has the DNA of the Sage that they can then use the Animus with. They can go back through the Sage's DNA.
He has memory of all the sites for precursor stuff.
He now knows they now know where every precursor site is. Rogue plays in, you find out a little bit more about precursor sites. And it's tied with Unity. And now in Unity, you get hacked by like you're playing Helix, and the assassins hack in, and at which point you to go through the Unity storyline, because the assassins are now looking for a Sage. They know Abstergo has a Sage, so now they need one. If they want to be on an even playing field, they now need a Sage. This is why there's a Sage in Unity. And thanks for clarifying that, Megan, if there was one or not. Let's see what else was there. But they didn't try to change making that money. What? I don't understand at all. They be able to help. Yeah, they don't know. They did try to change making that money. They continue releasing incomplete stories, so you buy the books and movies. It all depends on how the story develops, really.
Not all the games are incomplete, not all of them require you to buy books or anything else.
I mean, if anything, just to kind of put this out there, through the main games, so the numbered ones, 1, 2, 3 in Black Flag, so 4, out of them ones, we've seen how all the assassins die, or Red, in case of Edward, apart from Connor. Connor's the only assassin that we don't know how dies yet. So there could be more media for him. They could release a book next week, for all I know, that tells you how Connor dies. There could be a film next week. There could be another game. They could do something like that. It could be DLC. We don't know how that's going to end. Let's see what else there was.
Well, we know how it's going to end eventually.
Yeah.
Not well for
I
anyone.
mean, in all fairness, Connor could have easily appeared in Unity because Unity and Connor pretty much Connor did all of his stuff, and then straight after was Unity. So yeah, let's see what else. We're past the months. I remember Black Fleet integrating a moving rope.
Interrogating. It was a glitch where Blackbeard was trying to scare someone, the guy ties to the post, but all he was scaring was an actual rope that was moving, wiggling.
Alright, fair enough.
It was a bug. But yeah, and there was a flying ship, and there was a ship that rose out the water like it came from hell. That was about it. Unity was physically incompletable.
Yeah, you just couldn't complete it. So, Connor
was finished. Connor had no story to finish. It was just revenge. That's all it was. There was no story to finish for him. There was no ending to get to. There was no...
Yeah, all he wanted was
greater
revenge
goal.
and he got it. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying about, like, all their stories are finished type thing. I'm saying in terms of, like, in completing them. And he got that mohawk, which went away. No.
I think we have a problem.
What?
That ain't spinning round.
We may have a froze game.
I think the quality Xboxes may have just frozen on us.
In all fairness, it is the original Slim.
That hasn't been opened and cleaned.
It really needs that. Woo! It's hot.
Is that going to be an open and clean job?
Maybe. So we might have to end the stream an hour early.
It's going to have to end. Also, where I get to play for half an hour today. Wonderful, Simon.
Oh well.
I'll remember that tomorrow when I don't give you the fucking controller back.
Oh, you played most of yesterday on your own.
I fucking didn't at all. Didn't play barely any yesterday, to be fair. In fact, yesterday was split quite evenly.
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to give me one half and you get the other half.
Yeah, but your halves aren't halves. That's what you don't understand. Half 11 is not halfway through the stream.
Yeah, that's
No, it's not.
That's why you have a break. I purposely...
Yeah, but it's not halfway through the
We'll
stream.
discuss this afterwards.
Okay, we'll discuss this afterwards.
We're ending the stream early.
Sorry, we got to
Technical
fix his
issues.
Xbox.
Technical issues. We've got to
In other
fix
words,
it.
I'm going to have to do it because he can't.
Yeah.
Or doesn't know how. Probably could if he knew how. But he doesn't.
We'll probably go... I can imagine this mission's not going to be complete or we're going to have a corrupted save or something. Depending on what happens, depending on what I've got to do. So we'll try and get back. I am apologising for this. So catch you all later.
Sorry, it's ending early.
Yeah.
Yes.
If anything, I might be on later tonight.
Might. Doing what?
Probably doing our quality test.
Indeed.
Yes.
Mirror's Edge?
Yes.
Stuart, you wanted a Mirror's Edge stream, correct? If so, probably, maybe, hopefully, tonight. Because we have nothing else to do tonight, apart from editing, but we can do that. We can do that.
In fact, tell you what. Stuart, do you want a Mirror's Edge stream? If so, give me about 5 minutes and I'll set it up. So
While you're doing that, I gotta fix your Xbox.
yeah.
Lovely. Mirror's Edge stream.
Stuart.
Stuart!
Stuart. Maybe it's Dave. Dave!
Dave!
No, maybe
Dave.
it's Stuart.
No, wait. Maybe it's Alan. Alan! We can't play Halo. The Xbox is broken.
No, we can. Xbox One.
Uh,
Love you. I'm guessing that's a yes then.
that's a yes then. Okay.
Okay.
I'll get my Mirror's Edge game out.
We're back in 5 minutes. The stream is going to be stopping. Be back in 5 minutes and we'll be back with Mirror's Edge for a quality test. I'll see you there. Till then, I'm just going to play some ending music, okay?
Yes. We shall return.
Hello. You want to get some more content? Press the subscribe button just down here to join the digital army. Or you can press the logo to go back to the channel and find some other videos. Or you can press the eye in this corner to go back to the last episode.